Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the problems in chapter 2, electrostatic potential and capacitance. The first problem is two charges 5 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulomb and minus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulombs are located 60 centimeter apart. So we are having two charges. One is of 5 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulombs and another one is of minus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 8 coulombs. They are kept apart from 16 centimeters. The distance between the two charges will be 16 centimeters. At what point on the line joining the two charges is the electric potential 0? Take the potential at infinity to be 0. So what we are going to do, we are going to find the electric charges. Line joining the two charges is the electric potential. Potential should be 0 and take the potential at infinity to be 0. Okay, so we are going to find. Then we can go for the solution. What are the given datas? There are two charges. Charges Q1, it is marked as Q1 and Q2. Distance D is 16 centimeter. 16 centimeter can be converted into meter, 0.16 meter. 0.16 meter. Okay, so that see the diagram. So P is the middle point and Q1 is one charge and Q2 is another charge between these two charges, and the distance between these two charges will be D, and distance between P and Q1 will be marked as R. P and Q1 will be marked as R. Okay, so what is R? The distance from point P to Q1. Now we can go to the formula. B is equal to, okay, B is equal to Q1. For the first charge, Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into R. For the second charge, Q2 is Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into D minus R. D minus R. Mark this as equation 1. And what is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught be the permittivity of free space. Epsilon naught be the permittivity of the free space. And V is equal to 0. V is equal to 0. It is given in the sum itself. V is given as 0. Okay, so that substitute the value of V to be 0, so that you will get it as 0 is equal to Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R plus Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into D minus R. If you bring this to first term to this side, left hand side, Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to minus of Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into D minus R. So that here 4 pi epsilon naught and 4 pi epsilon naught get cancelled. The remaining things here is in the equation is Q1 divided by R is equal to minus Q2 divided by D minus R. Q2 divided by D minus R. Okay, so that if you substitute the values of Q1 5 into 10 to the power of minus 8 divided by R is equal to minus of minus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 8 divided by 0.16 minus R. And the final answer will be, if you simplify all these things, you will get the value of R is equal to 0.1 meter. 0.1 meter. So this can be converted into centimeter, so that it will be 10 centimeter. It will be 10 centimeter. Okay, so therefore the potential difference is 0. What happened? The potential difference is 0 at a distance of 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter, if the point is kept 10 centimeter from the positive charge between the charges, the potential difference will become 0. The potential difference will become 0. Instead of keeping the point in the middle, if the point P is outside of the two charges, then what will be the distance? What will be the distance? We have to find what will be the distance. See the diagram. Instead of keeping the point P in between the two charges, the point P is outside of the two charges. It is at the end, one end. So P and Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2. The distance between the two charges is taken as S. See here, from the point P to Q1, from the point P to Q1 will be S, and from the point Q1 to Q2 will be D, and the distance, and then the distance between P to Q1. P to Q1 will be S minus D. P to Q1 will be S minus D. Then the potential V is equal to Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into S plus Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into S minus D. Mark this as equation 2. Here similarly, epsilon naught will be the permittivity of free space. Wherever it may be, epsilon naught will be the permittivity of free space. Then for V is equal to 0, if the potential will be equal to 0 means, then the equation can be written as Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 4 pi epsilon naught into S is equal to Qz divided, Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into S minus D. V will become 0. So that this equation can be write like this. Okay, so that then next step will be Q1 divided by S, because 4 pi epsilon naught and 4 pi epsilon naught will get cancelled. So the remaining thing will be Q1 by S is equal to minus Q2 divided by S minus D, minus Q2 divided by S minus D. Here in the previous step itself, minus is missing. So Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught S is equal to minus Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into S minus D. If you substitute the values of all these things, you will get the answer as 2 by 5. 2 by 5. 2 by 5 means S is equal to 0.4 meter. 4 meter can be written as 40 centimeter. 40 centimeter for 0.4 meter is equal to 40 centimeter. So the potential is 0 at a distance of 40 centimeter from the positive charge outside the system of charges. If the distance, the point is outside the system means, then at 40 centimeter the potential will becomes 0. At 40 centimeter the potential will becomes 0. Okay, so this is the first question. If we go for the second question, a regular hexagon of side 10 centimeter has a charge of 5 microcoulomb at each of its vertices. We are taking a hexagon, and length of the side distance will be, that means AB will be 10 centimeter, BC also is 10 centimeter, and then the charge at these points will be A, B and C will be 5 microcoulombs. It is at the vertices means at the joining point. So calculate the potential at the center of the hexagon at the point O. See the diagram, at the point O we need to calculate the potential. Okay, so so the given, see the diagram. So charge Q is equal to 5 microcoulomb. Microcoulomb can be converted into coulomb as into 10 to the power of minus 6. 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So side of the hexagon, AB, BC, CD, DE, EF and FA will be 10 centimeter. Okay, so distance of each vertex from the center O will be also equal to, D is equal to 10 centimeter. So from the vertex also the distance will be 10 centimeter. The formula here we can write is V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught D. But here we are having 6 faces, so that we can multiply it by 6. If it is for one point means, one side means, it will be Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into D. Here we are having 6 faces, so that we can take it as 6 into Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. 4 pi epsilon naught into D. Epsilon naught permittivity of free space, and we are having the value of 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught value. Already we know this is a constant. It will be 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton Coulomb inverse squared meter inverse squared. Coulomb inverse squared meter inverse squared. So that if you substitute it in the formula, V is equal to, substitute the same 6 and Q value will be 9 into 10 to the power of, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught value will be 9 into 10 to the power of 9, and Q value will be 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by D will be 0.1. D will be 0.1. So that final answer we got is V is equal to 2.7 into 10 to the power of 6 volts. So therefore the potential at the center of the hexagon is 2.7 into 10 to the power of 6 volts. Okay. So what we have did is, for a hexagon, the side is given as 10 centimeter and the charge Q is equal to 5 microcoulomb. 5 microcoulomb converted into coulomb, 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 coulomb, and then the formula for the potential, electric potential will be V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught D. Here we are having 6 phases, so that we take it as 6 into Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into D. Epsilon naught may be the permittivity of free space, so that value of 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught will be 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton Coulomb inverse square meter inverse squared. Then substitute these values. B is equal to 6 into Q value 9 into 10 to the power of 9, and then 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught value 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught value will be 9 into 10 to the power of 9, and then Q value will be 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. D value will be 0.1, so that final answer, if you solve this, means you will get the answer as 2.7 into 10 to the power of 6 volts. Therefore, the potential at the center of the hexagon is 2.7 into 10 to the power of 6 volts. Okay. So, if we go for the third sum, two charges, 2 microcoulombs and minus 2 microcoulombs are placed at points A and B 6 centimeter apart. The distance between A and B will be 6 centimeter, and identify an equipotential surface of the system. Second question is, what is the direction of the electric field at every point on this surface? What is the direction of the electric field at every point on this surface? See the diagram. It is given as A and B. This is A point will be having the charge of 2 microcoulombs, and B point is having the charge of minus 2 microcoulombs, and distance between the two charges will be 6 centimeter. Two points will be 6 centimeters. So that an equipotential surface is the plane on which electrical potential is same. Equipotential means the electrical potential is same at all the points, wherever it may be, A to B, wherever it may be, the potential will be, electric potential will be same. So that one of such plane is normal to the line AB. AB line, it should be normal to the line AB. So the plane is located at the midpoint of line AB, because the magnitude of the charges is same. Magnitude of the charges will be same. Because see here we are having 2, here also we are having minus 2. So the magnitude is same, so that it will be on the midpoint of AB. AB, it should be in the middle of this line AB. It should be in the middle of the line AB. So this is the answer for first question. Identify the equipotential surface of an equipotential surface of the system. So it is in the midpoint of AB. Okay. So, and if we go for the B question, what is the direction of the electric field at every point on this surface? So the direction of the electric field is normal to the plane in the direction of AB. It should be normal. It is the normal on the plane of the in the direction of AB. So this is about the third sum. Then we can go for the fourth sum. A spherical conductor of radius 12 centimeter has a charge of, the conductor is spherical, and radius of the conductor is 12 centimeter. Charge will be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 7, distributed uniformly on its surface. What is the electric field inside the sphere, just outside the sphere, at a point 18 centimeter from the center of the sphere, from the center of the sphere? These are the three questions given. Okay. So now we can see first one, radius of the spherical conductor R is equal to 12 centimeter. It can be converted into meter, so that it will be 0.12 meter. 0.12 meter. And then charge Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 coulomb. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 coulomb. Okay. So electric field inside a spherical conductor will be 0, because net charge inside a conductor, so the total charge inside a conductor will be always 0. This thing already we have studied in the theory itself. Okay. So that second question, what is the second question asked here? Just outside the sphere, what will be the electric field just outside the sphere? So that electric field E just outside the conductor is given by the relation E is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R squared. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value already we have studied. It is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter squared Coulomb inverse squared. 9. So that if you substitute these values, E is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 10 to the 9 into 10 to the power of minus 9. Then R value will be 0.1 to the whole square, 0.1 to the whole square. If you simplify all these things, we will get it as 10 to the power of 5 Newton Coulomb inverse, 10 to the power of 5 Newton Coulomb inverse. Okay, so this is the electric field E just outside the conductor, okay. So then we can go for the C question. So electric field at a point 18 meter from the center of the sphere, that will be equal to E1. E1 is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into d squared. Epsilon naught into d squared. D is given as 0.18 meter. Okay, so substitute the values so that you will get it as 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into, because that is a 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught value, 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into Q value will be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 divided by d squared value, d value will be 0.18. We can substitute it as 0.18 or else 18 into 10 to the power of minus 2. 18 into 10 to the power of minus 2 the whole square. If you simplify all these things, you will get the answer as 4.4 into 10 to the power of 4 Newton Coulomb. 4.4 into 10 to the power of 4 Newton per Coulomb. So this is the electric field at a point 18 centimeter from the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere line 18 centimeter distance la irukkoodiya electric field. Okay, so we have find out all the three values. What are all the three values we have find it out? So A will be inside the sphere, at the center of the sphere. The point is electric field at the center of the sphere. So it will be equal to 0. Just outside the sphere means we have find it out as 10 Newton Coulomb inverse using the formula E is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R squared. 4 pi epsilon naught R squared. So third C question will be at a point 18 centimeter from the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere, distance from the center of sphere will be 18 centimeter. So that the D can be taken as 18 centimeter. Or else 0.18 meter. Here we substitute the formula as Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into d square. 4 pi epsilon naught into d square, and we find the answer as 4.4 into 10 to the power of 4 Newton per Coulomb. Now we can go for the fifth question. A parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates has a capacitance of 8 picofarads. 8 picofarads. 1 picofarad is equal to 10 to the power of minus 12 farad. What will be the capacitance if the distance between the plates is reduced by half? So initially there is a distance between the plates, and that is reduced to half of the thing, and the space between them is filled with a substance of dielectric constant 6. Dielectric constant 6. Initially there is air in between the plates. Now they are after making the distance between the plates to the half, then they are keeping a substance of having dielectric constant 6. Okay, so that we can the capacitance C can be written as 8 picofarads, and then dielectric constant of the air will be K is equal to 1. So the formula C is equal to K epsilon naught A divided by D. K epsilon naught A divided by D. Here K will, the K value will be 1 because it is of air. It is of air, so that the equation can be written as epsilon naught A divided by D. Epsilon naught A divided by D. A is the area of the plate. Epsilon naught permittivity of free space. Permittivity of free space. Okay. So what is the second part given? Second part given is the thing is the distance between the plates is half, making half of the thing, half of the initial one, so that it can be taken as d dash is equal to d by 2. D dash is equal to d by 2. Here the dielectric constant K value, because instead of air we are keeping substance, so its dielectric constant will be 6. It is given as 6, so that K dash can be written as 6. So we can write the formula C dash as K dash epsilon naught A divided by D. K dash epsilon naught A divided by D. K, what is the value of K dash? K dash will be 6. K dash value will be 6. So that we can write it as 6 epsilon naught A. Instead of D, we have to, D dash. Here we have to write it as D dash. D dash, we have to write it as D by 2. D by 2. Okay, so if you substitute, equate these two formulas, equation 1 and 2. Equation 1 and 2, we will get the answer as C dash is equal to 2 into 6C. 2 into 6C. So that 2 into 6 can be written as 12C. 2 into 6 can be written as 12C. What is going on? So C dash is equal to C dash is equal to K epsilon naught A divided by D is equal to 6 epsilon naught A divided by D by 2. D by 2, 2 will go upwards. 2 will go upwards. Okay. So that and epsilon naught A and epsilon naught A will get cancelled. Epsilon naught A and epsilon naught A will get cancelled. D will also get cancelled. The remaining thing we are having is C dash is equal to 2 into 6C. 2 into 6C. So 2 into 6, 12C. C value is given as 8. C value is given as 8. So that 12 into 8 will give you 96 picofarads. 96 picofarads. So therefore the capacitance between the plate is 96 picofarads. 96 picofarads. Okay, so this is about the fifth sum. Then we can go for the sixth sum. 3 capacitors, each of capacitance 9 picofarads are connected in series. 3 capacitors and their capacitance are 9 picofarads, 9 picofarads and 9 picofarads. What is the total capacitance of the combination? What is the potential difference across each capacitor if the combination is connected to 120 volt supply? 120 volt supply. So 2 questions are asked: total capacitance and then potential difference. So capacitance of the 3 capacitors will be C is equal to 9 picofarads, and the formula can be written as 1 by C dash is equal to 1 by C plus 1 by C plus 1 by C, because all the capacitance is having the same capacitance. All the capacitors are having the same capacitance. So 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 will give you 3 by 9 equal to 1 by 3. So C dash will be 3 microfarads. Total capacitance of the combination will be 3 microfarads. So what will be the second question? What is the second question asked? What is the potential difference across each capacitor if the combination is connected to 120 volt supply? 120 volt supply. So here the supply voltage will be 120 volt, not 100 volt. It will be 120 volt. So V dash is equal to, so B dash is equal to B by 3. B dash is equal to B by 3 is equal to 120 divided by 3. 120 divided by 3 will gives you 40 volt. Therefore, the potential difference across each capacitor is 40 volt. Potential difference across each capacitor will be 40 volt. Here, the answer, it is written wrongly. Supply voltage V is equal to 120 volt. Then we can go for the seventh sum. 3 capacitors of capacitance 2 picofarad, 3 picofarad and 4 picofarad are connected in parallel. What is the total capacitance of the combination? Similar one. Determine the charge on each capacitor if the combination is connected to a 100 volt supply. 100 volt supply. Okay, similar sum as that of the previous sum, 6th sum. Okay, so capacitance of the given capacitors are C1 is equal to 2 picofarad, C2 is equal to 3 picofarad, C3 is equal to 4 picofarad. Okay, and the total capacitance can be written as C is equal to C1 plus C2. Why we are taking this formula? C is equal to C1. It is connected parallel to each other. It is connected parallel. So C is equal to, C dash is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 9 picofarad. The total capacitance of the combination will be 9 picofarads. Okay. And the supply voltage V is equal to 100 volts. Supply voltage V is equal to 100 volts. Okay, so now we want to find the we want to determine the charge on each capacitor. Determine the charge on each capacitor. So charge formula Q is equal to Vc. Q is equal to Vc. So mark this as equation 1, and C value will be 2 picofarads for the first one, first capacitor. C is equal to 2 picofarads. So that Q is equal to Vc is equal to, value of V will be 100. 100 into 2 will be 200 picocoulombs. So it can be written as 2 into 10 to the power of minus 10 coulomb. 2 into 10 to the power of minus 10 coulombs. So convert it into picocoulombs into coulombs will be 2 into 10 to the power of minus 10 coulomb. So if we go for the second capacitor, C is equal to 3 picofarads, then Vc is equal to 100 into 3. So you will get the answer as 3 into 10 to the power of minus 10 coulombs. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 10 coulombs. And if we go for the third capacitor, Vc is equal to 100 into 4 will be equal to 200 picocoulombs. It will be 4 into 10 to the power of minus 10 coulombs. So these are the charges and the 3 capacitors respectively. 3 capacitors respectively. If we go for the 8th sum, in a parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates, each plate has an area of 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter squared, and the distance between the plates is 3 millimeter. Calculate the capacitance of the capacitor if this capacitor is connected to a 100 volt supply. What is the charge on each plate? What are the things given there? Area of the plate is A is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter squared, and distance between the plates D is equal to 3 millimeter is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter. If we convert it into meter, okay, from millimeter to meter, it will be equal to 10 to the power of minus 3. And then supply voltage V is equal to 100 volts. V is equal to 100 volts. The formula to find the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor, C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. Okay, epsilon naught will be the permittivity of the free space. Epsilon naught will be the permittivity of the free space. Okay. So it is 8.854. It is a constant value. It is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb square Newton inverse meter inverse square. Meter inverse square. Substitute on the formula. C is equal to, above formula, epsilon naught A divided by D. Epsilon naught value will be 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. And then A value will be 6 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. D value will be 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So that we will get the answer as 17.71 picofarads. 17.71 picofarads. Okay. So here potential V. Now we want to find the potential V. V is equal to Q by C. Q by C. Okay. Then Q will be equal to Vc. We can convert it as, change it as, bring this C to this side means downwards will come to this side means left hand side means it will become as Q is equal to Vc. Q is equal to Vc. What is the value of V? 100. And what is the value of C? We have find it out. It is 17.71 into 10 to the power of minus 12. 17.71 into 10 to the power of minus 12. Okay, so that if you multiply these two things, you will get the answer as 1.771 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulombs. Minus 9 coulombs. So therefore the capacitance of the capacitor is 17.71 picofarads, and the charge on each plate is 1.771 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulomb. So this is about the 8th sum. So we have completed the class. Do it, learn the sums and do it fast. Okay, thank you.